Welcome to Culturally Vocal.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our brand new podcast called Culturally Vocal.
So we're just three friends who met at a university in Dubai. So we wanted to start a podcast.
Yes, and in this podcast, we plan on diving into the rich tapestry of our diverse background and share our unique journeys growing up in the UAE. From the flavors of our heritage to the rhythms of our upbringing, tune in as we celebrate the differences of cultures that make our experiences so unique and vibrant.
You may wonder why we decided to start a podcast. This podcast is more than just a medium of expression. It's a gateway to connect with a wider audience, to spark meaningful conversations, and to just let those who experience the same thing know that you are not alone in this journey.
So welcome everyone to our very first episode. We're super excited to kick things off by getting to know each other better. Think of it like a cozy chat where we share all the cool stuff about who we are and what makes us unique. So grab a seat, relax, and let's dive into our culture together.
Yes, so the first person on the spotlight is Arwa, where we begin asking her some rapid fire questions to get to know her, and it'll be followed by us asking her some questions that we are curious to know about her culture and interests.
And to start off, let's start with the rapid fire questions.
Go ahead, Najma.
Okay, so Arwa, what is your full name?
My full name is Arwa Khalid Ahmed Ibrahim.
What is your age, Arwa?
I'm 22 years old.
Where are you from?
I'm from Egypt.
Where do you live here in UAE?
I live in Abu Dhabi.
Where do you study?
I study in RIT.
What's your major?
My major is global business management.
And lastly, what are your hobbies?
I love watching TV.
Nice.
That's cute.
That's good, you're done with the rapid fire questions.
Yay!
Next, we are going to ask you some interview questions
Yes.
where you can answer briefly.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready.
So, the first question is, in what ways do you feel connected to your Egyptian heritage while living in the UAE? Are there any traditions or customs that you still uphold?
So basically, I feel so connected because in my family, we're like only four people, like me, my sister, and my mom and dad. So it's like we're more of an Egyptian culture. Like we only live together and like we try to um how do I say it? Like, yeah, we only have some traditions, like always on every day, we all have to eat together on dinner. So this like kind of people like they do in Egypt, each and every day they sit together and eat together. And like we try to have on maybe each Friday, no, Saturday now, we do it like we have a breakfast all together. This happens in Egypt always, so we try to have it each and every Saturday we eat together. And like, my favorite Egyptian, traditions or like festives is Ramadan and Eid. So in Ramadan, we usually have some traditions where we all try to cook together at home. Since morning, me, my mom and sister, we just try to cook some Egyptian meals and like make it ready until night, where after iftar, we usually sit together and watch the Egyptian series. It's a season. So it's like, and we have the drinks that we love and the desserts. So this is how we usually sit together. And like in Eid, we have special Egyptian, desserts for Eid, and like we usually buy new clothes for Eid. We usually it for us it's pajamas, so it's a tradition for each Eid we have to do this. So in UAE, I try to like we try as a family to stick to all these things when we are not in Egypt.
That's really nice and interesting to hear. So it makes me curious, like, are there any cultural similarities or differences between the Egyptian and the UAE culture that you find especially interesting or significant?
So, as you guys, as my friends, you know that I didn't go to Egypt at all since childhood because I came here to Egypt when I was 2 years old. Sorry, I mean when I came to Dubai. So basically, what I can know is like in Egypt, we are more like a big family, all people, like everyone, the neighbors, everyone, you feel like you're connected to all of them, and you know all of them, all whatever like they have, they know any news, anything. But maybe here in UAE, it's more of a private life. So I only have my family here, and like in Abu Dhabi, I only know them. So I actually don't know anyone around me in the building. I only know my family. So if I see everyone around, I don't know their names or anything. But in Egypt, there they literally know every single stuff about each other. They know everything, and this is kind of a good thing. Like they can go for the festivals and celebrations. They all bring some good gifts to each other, and like they go together and like they celebrate together, and like maybe they go to visit each other. But here, I don't know anyone much that we can do these stuff with. So I think this is the kind of differences, but similarities, I don't think there's a similarity, to be honest.
Now, that's interesting to know. Now, have you ever experienced any misconceptions about Egypt that you've heard since childhood that you would like to clear up?
Yes, this is the major one that I really want to clear it up in our podcast. So actually, everyone I know, they have a big misconception that Egypt is only pyramids. So they were like, "Oh, are you Egyptian? Oh, you have the pyramids." I was like, "Guys, come on! Egypt is not only about pyramids. Even though I didn't live in Egypt at all and I didn't visit it since when I was two, but literally, I know there is a lot of places in Egypt that you can visit. It's like a lot more. I can give you some places that I really want people from around the world to come and like visit and experience. So I have Alexandria. It's amazing. Um, what else? There is a lot. Yeah, of course the pyramids. Everyone will go. And wait, let me remember. I forgot.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us. So,
Yeah, but like where I want to go, it's like the places there in the South Egypt mainly. Like there are really good stuff where you can go there, and it's basically in the spring and in winter. It's really good there. The weather in winter is amazing when you can all visit there. There's Suma Bay. Yeah, I just remembered. There's Suma Bay. There's yeah, these kind of stuff because now I can't remember the stuff.
what do you hope people around the world will come to understand and appreciate about Egypt and its people through your insights and experiences?
So yeah, I want people to actually appreciate how the love we have for each and every one who comes to our country. If you saw like when I like if you go and visit Egypt, there is a lot more of like really amazing people when you like see them. If you have any problem, they will just help you. If there is anything that you feel you can do, they explain everything to you. They will welcome you in a very amazing way. They will just like make you feel you're at home. They won't make you feel that you're in a different country, you're only visiting. No, that you will actually go there and you feel you want to go. You feel you will only want to stay here in Egypt. You don't want to go. Even me, even me. If I wasn't Egyptian, I would have like wished that I want to go there and stay forever.
That's nice. And Egyptians do sound really friendly now. Okay, now, we all know that Egyptian cuisine is beloved worldwide for its delicious flavors and unique dishes. So, can you share some of your favorite Egyptian foods, Arma, and what makes them special to you?
Oh God, there is a lot of Egyptian cuisines that you guys like. If you eat it, you will get a lot of calories that you will love, that you won't stop eating. So my favorite is, I think you guys know it, mahshi.
Yep,
I've never heard
You
of that.
you've made me try it.
Yeah, this is my favorite. And I think you only tried one of the types. There is a lot more. There is the eggplant mahshi, and there is a lot. And this is my favorite whenever like I make my mom do it in the weekends. It's my favorite. And what else? I feel like this is so popular in Egypt, and like each this kind of cuisine. All Egyptians have to do it in the very first day of Ramadan. So it's like everyone loves to do it. It's like a rule. In the first day there is mahshi. And what else? My favorite. Yeah, and I'll say it in Egyptian and then I'll say it in English. Macarona bechamel. It's like pasta.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I've tried it before.
It's
I've
amazing. It's my
never.
I'll make it. I'll make you eat it. It's amazing. And of course, you guys love koshari.
Yeah, that's one Egyptian
Yeah,
food we've all heard of.
my mom is obsessed with kosheri.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, this is so unique because actually each and every one, whenever they don't know what to eat, they just eat koshari because it's so like easy and like it's popular there. And wait, I'll tell you one more. For me, there is a one dish that I usually love to eat. Kish. I don't know if you guys like. It's a white. I don't know how to explain it, but it's my favorite. It's usually you guys can eat it with rice and chicken. And
Mhm.
one of the most popular is molokhia. I think you know it, Rania.
I've heard of Mulkia before.
Can you give the
Yeah,
English thingy for that? I'm pretty sure you've told me these names.
don't remember, but it's like the green plant.
Ah, yeah, yeah, you've made me try it once.
Yeah, this is my favorite. And like the way you do it with the ingredients, and you have to do a sound while eating it so it can taste. It's an Egyptian tradition where you have to do like this. I'll just do the sound. So it can give you a good taste.
Whoa, okay, I
Yeah,
never knew all that.
yeah, this is how we do it in Egypt. Like you need to do this sound, and if you didn't, maybe you will feel the molokhia it's different.
Ah,
So, being on that topic, can you recommend some good Egyptian restaurants in Dubai? Have you tried any?
Yeah, my most favorite is actually I go to it a lot of times, maybe in Ramadan, like whenever we are bored and we're gonna go out. The restaurant name is Tasha.
Tasha.
Yeah, Tasha.
you're gonna try it
Oh,
out,
okay.
Najma.
One day I would love to. I want to experience what Arwa is saying.
Exactly. Arwa, you gotta take us out so that, you can make
I
us
have
taste all
to,
these.
and everyone knows me there, so I have to take you guys there and like give you a lot of Egyptian and even and mulukhiyah because the chef have a special thing when they actually serve the mulukhiyah. He will put it in front of you, so you will love this.
Sure, we gotta try it once.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that should be a promise from Arwa to us.
Yes.
exactly. Anyway, as your friend, one of the most interesting facts about you as an Egyptian that I've heard is your love for Bollywood, Arwa. How did you get into that? How did you get into the love for Bollywood?
My dad, since his childhood, like in Egypt, actually, everyone loves Bollywood. Their most favorite is Amitabh Bachchan. They have known him mostly in Eid. There is always a channel that brings a Bollywood movie, like a 3 hours Bollywood movie, and they actually sit and celebrate Eid and watch the movie. It's like a tradition there. Like all Egyptians love Bollywood movies. So my dad actually grew up loving these movies, and he actually usually went and bought them in Egypt. And then when we came here, he never changed. Like he always loved Bollywood movies, and like we usually went to cinema and watched them. And then from that way, I started loving Bollywood movies even more, and I increased the skill that we usually tell him what are the movies that out, and let's watch these. And now I'm starting like going ahead and watch South movies.
Wow. Honestly, I'm jealous of your love for Bollywood. I wish I was that in love with my own culture.
But like,
Same,
yeah,
same.
for me, I love Shahrukh. He's my most favorite.
You do.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, we know you love Shah Rukh Khan, but are there any Egyptian actors that you love? And any recommendation for good Egyptian movies that we may like watch?
Yes, no, as much as I love Bollywood, I do love Egyptian movies and series a lot. Like, especially in Ramadan, I watch all of them actually. So wait, I'll tell you Egyptian actors. I love Kareem Abdulaziz. I think I showed him to Rania.
Yes, you have, you have.
Yeah, and Ahmed Ez. These are two of my favorites. I love them a lot. And Khalid al-Nabawi. They're like acting amazing. I love them a lot. They have a lot of movies and good stuff. So wait, I'll tell you some movies. For Kareem, there is a movie called like actually for both of them, Kareem Abdulaziz and Ahmed Az, they have Kira Will Gin. This is really good. But I'll recommend you guys a movie which is on Netflix.
Yes, please.
It's for yeah, on Ahmed Az. There's a movie called The Cell, الخلية. You can
Okay,
yeah, you can watch it there.
Sure, we'll try watching it.
Yeah.
we need to. We
Yeah,
need to experience
exactly.
Egyptian culture, or Rania.
Let's start
There's
with
a lot.
the movies then, and then the food.
Yes, there is a lot more of movies that I can't like remember on the spot, but this is my favorite. The Cell, it's my favorite. You can find it there on Netflix. And there's a lot of comedy movies as well on Netflix.
Okay,
Sure.
we'll have to ask you for a more in-depth recommendation list, and you should forward it to me and Rania so that we could also start becoming Egyptians.
Of course. So I think you guys are done with me. I think so.
Yes, so that's all the questions that we have for you for today.
And thank you for
Yeah.
answering them. And we actually got to know so many interesting facts.
Oh, I'm so happy. I hope you guys like started like being excited about Egypt.
Oh, yes, we are way more curious now. You'll have to give us more of your time to clear up all our curiosities now.
Yeah, and I have next time to tell you all the places that maybe I forgot now on the spot. Okay, so now let's move to our multicultural girl, Najma. So we're gonna kickstart with a rapid fire questions to her.
Yeah, so Najma, will start with the first question. What is your full name?
My full name is Najma Priyanka Mohammed.
So what's your age, Najma?
I'm 21 years old.
Where are you from?
I'm half Indonesian and half Indian. My mom is Indonesian and my dad is Indian.
Okay, so where do you live?
I live in UAE in Dubai.
Where do you study?
I study in Rochester Institute of Technology, Dubai.
Okay, what's your major there?
My major is global business management.
And lastly, what is your hobby? What are your hobbies?
I love to read.
Period.
Yes.
Yep,
Wow,
we've seen you read.
So we're done with the rapid fire questions. Let's begin with our curious questions to Najma. So, Najma, can you share with us some of your experiences while growing up in a multicultural household?
Yes, so I was born in the UAE. So growing up, it was like, I don't know if you guys, I've ever told you guys, but I used to speak Arabic when I was growing up because my mom and dad used to communicate in the Arabic language. Because again, my mom is from Indonesia and my dad is from India. And then once I started going to school, that's when we started using English in our household because it's actually very hard to communicate in any other language because my dad didn't know the Indonesian language and my mom obviously didn't know my dad's Indian language. So we would communicate in English, and unfortunately, we lost the Arabic language somewhere along the way. So ever since then, we spoke in the English language at home. But one thing that I really appreciate is that my mom can cook both Indian and Indonesian food. So we always had that growing up. So we grew up with both, you know, food. And also, since I always travel back to Indonesia every summer, since I was little, I got to pick up on my mom's mother tongue, which is Bahasa. So I can also speak Indonesian. And one thing that I had growing up was live-in nanny. And she was also from Indonesia. So every time I communicated with her, I would always communicate in the Indonesian language. So I was able to still retain that language. So yeah, that's what it was like growing up in a multicultural household. And for like my Indian side, like I would, watch Indian shows growing up with my dad. And so I also retained some of Hindi language, but only like understanding when people are speaking to me, but not being able to speak back.
Oh, that's
Wow,
actually interesting to know.
yeah, I didn't know that you spoke Arabic before.
Yeah.
So, since you're living in Dubai now, how do you manage to maintain connections with your Indonesian and Indian roots while being away from your home countries?
So we have a lot of Indonesian friends. Like my mom is a part of such a big Indonesian community in the UAE. So my mom has Indonesian friends and they have sons and daughters as well, like that are around my age. So and they also grew up in the UAE since birth. So it's like I maintain the connection through that because usually we would get invited to like this Indonesian household and they will make Indonesian food and we'll start sharing stories about like what life was like in Indonesia like during the summer that we traveled to Indonesia. And it's so nice and we continue to learn more about our culture through that community. As for my Indian roots, unfortunately, I was not able to maintain it. Um, I mean, I grew up in an Indian school. So I went to an Indian school since KG 1 to grade 8. And in that, like, obviously, I was surrounded by a lot of Indians, and they taught me a lot. Like, for example, I know that there's not one Indian language, there are multiple, and seeing all my classmates speak different types of Indian language was very interesting to me. Um, but like other than that, like after I left the Indian school, unfortunately, the only way I stayed in touch with my Indian roots is like whenever my cousin calls me from India or when my uncle comes to visit from Abu Dhabi to like here in Dubai to visit us. And and also like obviously maintaining it through the Indian food, which we have almost every day in our house.
Wow, that's so interesting. I loved how you did this, like in your cultures. Okay, so wait, I have a question. Can Najma, can you tell us about any unique traditions or celebrations that you practice from both cultures? Anything from any one of them?
Um, so I don't have a tradition or celebrations in which both the cultures celebrate because my Indian side of the family is completely different than my Indonesian side. For example, in Indonesia, one of the biggest celebration that we do is Eid al-Fitr, actually. Even though the bigger Eid is usually Eid al-Adha, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr bigger. And what we usually do is that we wake up like very, very early, around 4 a.m. to take a shower. And then we go to the village, my village in Indonesia, where my grandmother lives and we go to their house. So it's not just my family, but my cousins and my uncles and my aunts as well. So we all gather to my grandma's house, and then we go to the mosque all together to pray Eid al-Fitr prayer. And then we go back to my grandma's house to have breakfast. And then after having breakfast, we immediately go to each and every house in the village and we, wish them Eid Mubarak. and we sit and eat their snacks like literally for 3 minutes in each house. Okay, like we come into the house, we say hi, how are you, Eid Mubarak, and all of that. We eat their snacks. They give us the Eid money, and then we get up and then we leave. Like to each and every house in that village, like we stay for 3 minutes maximum, which is like so funny. But other than that, in my Indian side, I don't really celebrate any of their traditions or celebration. But I know my cousins celebrate Diwali, which is the festival of colors in India. So yeah.
That's really interesting to know. Actually, I mean, since you're having two sides of culture, you're getting to experience both, which is very rare too. And that's interesting to know. Anyway, so since you have all these multicultural experiences, have you ever encountered any cultural differences or challenges adjusting to life in Dubai? And if so, how have you navigated them?
Of course, like having two different cultural backgrounds is very beautiful, and I'm very, very grateful for it. But at the same time, it actually leaves me questioning, like, where do I belong? Because when I was in the Indian school, like I see that the Indians always, together in their own little group. Like there's always like the Malayali group and then the
The North Indian group. Yep.
South Indian group, like that. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And then when I moved to an American curriculum, there was like Arabs sticking together, Iranians sticking together. So it was like, where do I fit in? Because like I don't have the deep-rooted Indian culture in me to fit in 100% with the Indian group. And then I didn't have 100% Indonesian root in me to fit into the Indonesian group. So I always grew up feeling like I didn't know where I was supposed to be, where did I belong. But fortunately, in both these schools, there were other kids like me, where they were also from another country growing up in UAE, and we got to become a group and become friends and stuff. And yeah, but still, the feeling of not being whole sometimes is still there, but at the same time, I learned to embrace my uniqueness and feel like it's okay to be different, I guess.
That's amazing, Najma. I'm so like proud of you doing this. Okay, so as you know, I'm a big foodie and I love to experience some food. So what are some of your favorite Indonesian foods?
Guys, like Indonesian food is so good. Like it's so good. I wish you guys could experience it. There's so many different types of Indonesian food, but like obviously you guys know Indomie is like a very widely loved um brand of noodles here in the UAE, but like the way we make it, sometimes like my mom, I remember she made it once to bring it to my school and everyone finished it in like 5 seconds. I didn't even get to eat it. Like everyone just took
Wow.
it away from me and ate it in 5 seconds. Um,
Well, well, actually, that's
yeah.
amazing. Now I'm craving it.
Yeah. And then there is bakso, which is meatballs, which is super famous in Indonesia. Like literally every corner you see, there's always gonna be like a bakso shop. And then there's also satay, which is basically like grilled chicken in a stick, like skewers. Skewers. I
Yeah,
think that's how you
I
pronounce it.
actually love satay. My dad really loves satay.
You
He
tried it before.
Yeah, we've tried, and it actually comes with I don't know, a sauce which is made of cashew or something, is it?
Yes, peanut sauce.
Yeah,
It is
peanut sauce.
so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I really love it. Yeah. We've tried that.
Oh my God, you never told me. That's so interesting.
To be honest, I did not know it was Indonesian actually.
It is, it is. It's
Uh-huh.
like even that you will find in every corner in Indonesia. And then, yeah, like those are the most famous ones.
That's really
And
interesting to
That's
know.
amazing. So can you recommend some good Indonesian restaurants here in Dubai so we can go and visit them?
Yes, I would definitely recommend Little Bali. That's in Jumeirah, located in Jumeirah. It's so good, and it's like a taste of Bali. Since everyone is so obsessed with Bali, you can try Indonesian food there. It's really good.
Speaking of Bali, we all know that Bali is one of the most favorite tourist spots. So, can you recommend some of the other best places to visit in Indonesia?
Yes, so in Indonesia, you know what is so interesting? Everyone always talks about how much they love Bali, and every time they say that, I always tell them that I don't like it as much, which is very controversial because everyone is like obsessed with Bali. But the reason why I didn't like Bali as much is because I experienced like some place better, in my opinion, for what I like, you know? Like people who like Bali, they're more into these beaches type of environment. But I don't like the beach as much because it's like it's hard for me, to swim in like a public place. So I like the mountains and the quietness more. And one of my favorite places is actually where one of my mom's best friend as well as my best friends are from. It's called Malang, which is also getting to be more popular nowadays. And it's just like full of mountains, and there's like you can do apple picking, there are rabbit farms, there are strawberry pickings, and it's also where I did my first ever like paragliding, where you just jump out of a mountain with a parachute and like someone obviously behind you. But like it's so nice, and it's one of my favorite places to visit. And they also have a volcano in that area called Gunung Merapi, which basically people used to wake up very early, maybe like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., like that, and they would go on a jeep up to the mountain, and then they would see the sunrise from there. So that's
Well,
one place that I recommend, as well as Jogja. Jogja is good for like history, and there are also like there's a lot of history in Jogja, like temples and stuff like that from like years, like like dating back to hundreds and thousands of years ago, I think.
wow, that's amazing. I didn't know these before. Najma, you need to take us there.
Yeah, next time we
Come,
go to
I'm ready for
Indonesia,
you guys to come.
you should be the one guiding us.
Yeah, we'll just take her and like she actually should take us there, and we will only sit with her and like she will guide us everywhere.
It will
Exactly.
be my pleasure, guys. Come on, let's do it.
Okay, so actually, as like you just explained about your love for Bali and all, have you ever experienced any misconceptions about Indonesia that you would like to clear up?
Um, Not really. I feel like I don't experience a lot of misconceptions about Indonesia, but I think maybe people would think that Indonesia is, since it's the largest population for Muslims in the world, I feel like people think that they're not very open, or that there are no other religions in Indonesia, but that's not true. There, like for example, Bali is not a Muslim island. Like they have a different religion. I think it's either Hindu or Buddhist in Bali. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but like that's what I experienced when I was there. Um, and then yeah, like there's a lot of Chinese people also in Indonesia, and they're usually from Christian backgrounds and stuff. So, and also, to be honest, like Muslims in Indonesia are very open. Like they're religious, there's mosque everywhere, and people always, go to the mosque and, fast during Ramadan and stuff. But they're very open-minded in a sense. So yeah, I feel like in Indonesia, everyone is welcomed.
Oh, that's interesting to know. I really want to know more about the Indonesian culture in terms of the entertainment. So, is there any of your favorite songs in Indonesia that you would recommend us to hear?
Yes, there's two songs that I grew up listening all the time. that my mom would not stop playing for me. It's Chari Jodo by Wali, and it's basically this guy trying to find a bride. A song about this guy trying to find a bride, and it's just so funny. And people like, I'm sure 99% of Indonesians know this song. And then the next song is more like, it's like you wanting to be heard. It's called Suara by Had Hajau Down. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right as well. I'm sorry, guys. But like, it's also a very, very good song, and I recommend you guys to listen to it.
Sure, we gotta try listening to them, Arma.
Yeah, I'm
And
definitely
Najma,
gonna
you have to
listen.
recommend more songs so that we get to be more closer with the Indonesian culture.
Yes, I
Yeah,
will one day.
I'm so interested to actually know a new culture and like and listen to different songs.
Okay, is that all the questions that you guys have for me?
Yes, now we're done with Najma and like
Okay, so now let's welcome Rania to the spotlight, my full Indian bestie, as we continue our exploration of the diverse cultures and perspectives. So, Arwa, would you like to start with the rapid fire questions?
okay, so we're gonna start rapid fire questions for Rania. So Rania, what's your full name?
My full name is Rania Muhammad Asad.
How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
Where are you from, Rania?
I'm from India, specifically from the state of Kerala.
Where do you live in the UAE?
I live in Dubai.
Where do you study?
I study in Rochester Institute of Technology, Dubai.
What's your major?
Global Business Management.
And what's your hobby?
My hobbies will be watching TV and listening to music.
Interesting.
And
So,
now we're done with the rapid fire. Let's go for questions.
yes. Now, I'm really curious. Can you share a childhood memory or tradition that you still cherish from your culture?
Yeah, sure. So as you know, I lived in India for 10 years, basically. Although I was born here, I went back to India and then I lived there for 10 years. One of the biggest childhood memories, or one of the biggest things that I'm grateful about living there is being able to spend my time with my grandparents, both the sides, my mom's side and my dad's side. Living there, I got to get really close with my grandparents, especially my grandfather, with whom I actually have a lot of memories, and where we used to exchange a lot of conversations. And despite me being so young, he used to always make sure that we communicate well. We used to just every day after school, I used to run to him and talk about everything that happened in school, talk about my friends, and that's one of my favorite memories being in India. And some of my others are just all of them are connected with my family basically because we've always our family has always been very close. My cousins, although we have very little cousins on both the sides of the family, I've always been able to stay close with them, spend more time with them. We used to always where my cousins used to always come to my house and all the weekends where we used to hang out, go out, and that's one of my favorite memories that I still hold close to my heart from my childhood.
Oh, this is so cute, Rania. I
That is
love
so,
this, to
so
be honest.
cute.
Okay, so Rania, can you share to everyone some like insights into the significance of family values in your Indian culture?
Yeah, so just as I mentioned, we give very high importance to our family. And as I've mentioned, which is why I got to be close with my family, my grandparents, my cousins, because most of my friends, they are not that close. They always have, how do I say, most of the families do have their own issues where most of my friends are either close with their father side or their mother side, not both. But luckily, I've been grateful enough to have a very strong bond between both the sides of my families. And in terms of family values, I'd say this exactly. My closeness to my grandparents itself show how we give that significance, we give so much importance to that. And where another one of our examples could be just like how Arva mentioned, we also make sure that we have our meals together, like as a family. So the 3 meals a day, we always make sure that all of us are there to have it together. So when I was in India, it was always me, my mom, my grandparents, and if my cousins are there, even them. So that's a time when we all shared stuffs about each other. We used to just sit there in the dining table. We eat, we joke around, we talk about everything. And even after we finish the meal, we just sit there and talk for a very long time. And that's always some things that I miss about India.
Then how do you actually how these values are reflected in your daily life here in Dubai?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, that is one thing that I've missed the most being here away from my family. But even now, because of that routine we had back in India, even now in India, in Dubai, although it's just me, my mom, my dad, and my brother, we make sure we try our best to have our moments together as a family. When it comes to meals, or we even have these. One thing that we always try to do is watch new movies together as a family, or just spending time. We even play games at times, as in carom boards or cards together. So we make sure that despite being away from home, we want to make sure that as a family we get to be close. And another thing would be that my cousins keep visiting Dubai, and whenever they do, they stay in my house, and we still get to share that bond, which I feel is part of my culture and the way I've been uh, brought up, basically.
That's really lovely, Rania. I remember when you
Yeah,
used to tell me
it's
there is
really.
a lot of guests at your home and you're busy there.
Oh, true, true. Guests at home has always been sin. I mean, that's been one thing. When I was a child, I used to hate that a bit because our house was always crowded. But now, as I've grown up, that's one of the things I've missed the most.
That's honestly so cute. And I really like respect it. So, moving on, how do you stay connected to the Indian community in the UAE? Are there any cultural events or gathering that you regularly attend?
As you guys know, I feel like the highest population in UAE is the Indians. And so we do have a lot of communities. Especially we have a lot of communities for us Malayalis. But the thing is, we're not that connected with them. Yeah, my parents are, they do have their, these WhatsApp groups, and they keep, how do I say, having gatherings when it comes to certain issues and stuff, but we're not that involved in those communities. But there is a lot here. And we don't have these we don't attend them regularly, but when it comes to certain times, as in when it's during Eid, or when there's some kind of Onam celebration, or um, something like that, that's pretty much it. We don't have a lot of, we're not that involved in those communities.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
that's
I didn't know this before.
yeah, but honestly, like seeing you're right about like the biggest population in UAE is Indians because everywhere I turn, there's always a large community, and it's, to be honest, it's beautiful because I don't know if you guys seen this TikTok of people dancing in the rain,
Oh,
Indians
yes.
dancing
It's
in the
all
rain.
Indians, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
they literally blasted Indian music and started dancing on the streets with the rain, and it looks like a Bollywood, scene,
True, true.
honestly.
One thing I'm really proud of is that we just celebrate any moment in time. We just blast on the music, just as you said, just dancing. And there are many videos of people just playing football in the water, and all those things. It's just,
Yes.
that's really fun to see. And I'm actually proud of those things.
So am
Yeah, and
I.
exactly, and actually, especially in our university, most of it is Indians.
True, true. Which is why coming to Dubai, although in the beginning I was kind of scared, one thing that my dad always said is you don't have to worry about anything because Indians are everywhere. You will find your, you know, people.
That's
Yeah.
actually, yeah, that's the most important thing. It's so true. So, like moving forward, so Rania, as you know, I love India a lot. So, can you share with us some insights into the culture, traditions, and customs, specifically in Kerala?
Sure, sure. So, India is a very diverse country. Each state has its own specific language, culture, festivals, etc. So, in Kerala specifically has one of the biggest festivals in Kerala is Onam. I don't know if you guys know this. So, Onam is where it's a celebration of the Hindu culture actually, but what we do during Onam is we make flower carpets. I'm not sure if you guys have seen those. So we used to celebrate this back in school when I was in India. And those were some of the best memories I've had in school. So what we get to do is we are asked to dress up in the traditional clothes of Kerala, which is we have the Onam sari. I don't know if you've seen those. It's those
I've seen
beige color, yeah, white, off-white color saris, or we even have this called I'm not sure what to say it in English, but this is pattu pavada. That's this traditional skirt and top that you wear. And along with it, one of the things that we put these jasmine flowers. I think that's right. Yeah, jasmine flowers in our hair, and that's like the thing. So you wear the traditional clothes with the jasmine flowers, and we come to school and we have these competitions where between classes where we make these flower carpets, and the class with the most beautiful flower carpet gets a prize or something like that. And I mean, our school was so competitive that, especially our class, we used to always make sure that was like the goal of the year to get the first prize for the flower carpet and stuff. So we all used to bring these flower petals, different colors of flower petals from our homes, and then choose a good design. And all of us together, we used to put in the flower carpet, and that was a very interesting, that was a very fun memory actually. And we have way more. We have Diwali, which is the festival of lights. We have Holi, the festival of colors. So in India, we just celebrate everything, no matter what religion. We celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr, we celebrate everything. And that's the thing. In school, we used to have so many celebrations in an academic year that we used to, and along with these celebrations, we used to make sure that there are these performances by the students. So we used to always be engaged with all these. So I'm actually proud of the fact that we used to actually, all of us used to celebrate all the festivals of all the religions. We never had that segregation since childhood.
I love these kind of festivals. You know me, how I love Bollywood and all. And I keep telling my dad, I really want to celebrate Holi and with the colors, but it's so hard to do it. Why can I do it? But you need to take me somewhere so I can celebrate Holi next time, Rania.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of holy celebrations here in Dubai. We got to do it next
Yep.
time.
Yes.
So, Rania, what are some of your favorite Kerala dishes? And do you have any restaurants that you can recommend that is in the UAE?
Oh, yes. Oh, food is, I mean, you all know Indian food. It's the best. I mean, yes, I know, Arwa, you cannot have a lot of spices, but we have amazing food and we have a lot of options. So just as I said, each state has its own, cuisines, its own specialty. But I'll be talking about Kerala dishes. In Kerala, oh, one thing I actually forgot about Onam is the food we serve for the Onam festival. So we have, I don't know if you've seen, so we serve the food, the whole meal on banana leaves. And
Yeah,
there
I saw this in
are
movie.
exactly. So we have the rice and we have so many side dishes, amazing side dishes. It's a vegetarian meal, okay? So everything is veg, but the side dishes are just there's so many. They're like, we used to have that's one thing we used to do. We used to go to these houses, we used to count how many side dishes and which house has the most side dishes and stuff. Even here in restaurants, they do serve with like 20 side dishes and stuff on that banana leaf. So that is one of the how do I say special food in Kerala. But another some other foods that I really love is biryani. Biryani is there
Oh,
all over India with different styles of biryani, but ours is Malabari biryani. And let me tell you, honestly, one of my favorite biryani is my mom's biryani. And my mom's food, I love my mom's food too. So all types of, she makes biryani. We have like specifically in our place, we have this patiri. It's like it's not a roti, but a rice roti kind of thing. And then my we have very special we have different types of curries that we can have with the patri. And yeah, pretty much, I mean, there's so many for me if I list down all that, it's gonna take the whole day for me, so I'm gonna stop at this for now.
Rania,
Rania,
I feel like you and I should exchange biryanis because my mom makes Hyderabadi biryani.
Oh,
So
yep.
we need to exchange and,
We
you know,
have to. We
then
have to, share all our, secrets when it comes to these dishes.
yeah, for sure.
then no, Rania, you know how much I love biryani. It's my most favorite, and I love it so spicy. And like my mom, like she does it amazingly. But I want to eat your mom's biryani. Uh,
I've actually bought you one of my mom's biryanis, right, Aaron?
yeah, you did it. It was amazing, and I want to have more. You don't want to give me more?
I will, I will.
Okay, so Rania, I want to know, are there any misconceptions of Keralites?
Oh yes. So one of the misconceptions that I faced the most is when I came here to Dubai in my grade 11. All my friends just assumed that, okay, so Kerala is known for coconut trees. Okay, we just have coconut trees everywhere. That's like it's there everywhere. So coconut is part of our culture. Yes, true. We use coconut in various forms: coconut oil, coconut shredded coconut in the dishes, coconut milk powder. So we just have coconut in a we use it in many forms. We use it even for our hair and stuff. So it is a known fact. But one thing that they just assume is that we do use coconut for every single thing. Uh, as in whatever food I bring, they're like, okay, that's gonna smell like coconut oil. And whatever I do, they just like, the fact that they keep saying that, although in a way it is true, but it makes me more angry because it's not just coconut oil, but adding that actually brings in or increases the flavor of all our dishes and whatever we do. But they don't take that into consideration. And none of our food actually smell like coconut oil, people. It's just an ingredient that you add. So that's all I wanted to,
But
correct.
you have you have known me, Rania, for 4 years, and I'm a patriotic Egyptian. And if this happened to me, you know how I would respond to such people.
Oh yes, I know.
Okay, so to bring it more light and to calm down your anger a little bit from the previous question, what are your favorite Malayalam movies or songs?
Oh God,
Yeah,
there's so
Rania, you need to tell
many
me this.
people.
You
One
need to tell
thing,
me this.
yes, the thing is, one thing I'm another misconception too, I'd say, is when people talk about India, all they know is the Bollywood movies. But people, there are amazing South Indian movies, especially Malayalam movies. And now, in the past 2 years, movie industry has actually had the most box office collections or something, I guess, with all the movies by Malayalam directors has been really famous nowadays. And that's one thing I really want people to watch too. There are Malayalam movies, really amazing Malayalam movies. And one thing about these Malayalam movies are it's very relatable to the stories are all very relatable. It's very family oriented and stuff. That's you can actually see the whole culture going on in our Malayalam movies. And one of my favorite Malayalam movie, I'd say, is the Bangalore Days, and all my Malayali friends know it because and it's a movie about cousins and their bond. So I'd really recommend you guys to watch.
Yeah, and you told me this movie actually, and you're what you're saying is so true because actually now Bollywood movies are remaking all the South movies. I feel like they don't have more creative storylines now, so they're recreating the South movies.
Exactly. And I've told you one of the movies, Drishyam, is actually a Malayalam movie, but then people outside India just know it as a Bollywood movie, but it's not. It's a Malayalam movie with my favorite actor, Mohanlal and Mammootty, and these are our famous actors in.
Yes, exactly. Then when I came, like my favorite movie is Drishyam from Bollywood, and then now when I knew I came to know that it's a Malayalam movie in the first place.
Exactly. I need people to
So,
know that.
Okay,
Rania, do you
I'm
have
feeling
any?
left out, so I'm feeling like I should also be one of those that are watching these movies.
You have to,
Yeah,
I'll give you a list of movies.
yeah.
Okay.
She gave me a lot of movies. I have to share it with you, and she have to share a lot more with us.
Yes, yes, I will, guys. I will make sure that we all sit together and watch Malayalam movies.
So, do you have any favorite songs as well?
Songs, yeah, there are so many songs. Most of my favorite movies, the songs in them are my favorite songs. It's hard for me to, mention one or two. Just, I'm not sure, which could be my favorite song. It's hard for me to decide on one. The songs from Bangladesh, they're my favorite songs. I could say that.
That's amazing. Okay, so one of the last question we have for you, Rania, this time. I want to go to India, and specifically now I want to go to Kerala. So, what are the some of the places you love in Kerala?
Oh, Kerala is amazing places. Just so you know, Kerala is known as the God's own country. Okay, that's one of the things. And one of the main reasons is that Kerala is filled with greenery. It's just green all over. And one of our signature things is the backwaters of Kerala. So we have the whole places called Alapura and all where people are surrounded by water. It's kind of similar to, oh God, is it in Greece or Rome where houses are built literally next to the water? Where is it, guys?
I think it's both.
Yeah, okay, something similar. We have it back in Kerala too. So
No way.
where, yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't
Yeah,
know
it is. So we can go on houseboats and stuff like that. That's really beautiful. And we have
Wow.
a lot of green hills of Wayanad, Munnar. It's just see, my house itself is in middle of a forest basically. But then I'm I've grown up surrounded by greenery and plants, and we always some of my childhood memories are grow planting mango trees and all those. So that's basically it. There's so many places that I could tell you for Kerala.
This is amazing. Now you should take me to Rania with you, please.
Yes, inshallah, I will. I will. I really want you guys to visit Kerala, and I want to visit your countries too. You make it sound really amazing.
Yeah, we'll have to go on a trip, the three of us, to each and every country of ours.
Yes, true, true. So, guys, now I guess you guys are done with
Mm.
interviewing me. So let's head on. Let's all head on to the next segment.
Yeah, so now we're done with interviewing each other, and let's go to our to end our episode with a segment, Word of the Day, that Rania will introduce to us.
Yeah, sure. So we have this new segment called Word of the Day segment, where we will give an English word where each of us are going to translate it to our own language. So I will translate the word to Malayalam, Aro will translate the word to Egyptian, and Najma will translate it to Bahasa. So the word of the day that we chose today is friends.
Okay, guys,
Okay.
I want to say it first.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, so in Bahasa, we say friends like this. Taman taman.
Taman taman. Sounds really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Taman. They say it right.
Yeah, taman taman.
Taman
Oh,
taman.
that's
Okay.
good.
How is it in yours, Arwa?
Okay, so in Egyptian, we say it like this. You guys have to do like repeat it after me. Ashab.
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 Yes.
Okay. And now
What
in
about you, Rania?
Malayalam, our friend is Suhrit.
Suhrat.
Yes, Suhrit.
Suhatr, right?
Interesting.
Oh my God, Arwa. Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
It's okay. You'll practice makes it perfect.
yeah, I have to practice it.
Malayalam is a complicated language.
Yeah, like listen to you a lot and it's so hard.
So hope you
Okay,
all
guys.
learned something new and learned more about our cultures and enjoyed listening to us.
Yeah, we all enjoyed like interviewing each other, and we hope you guys enjoyed your time listening to our first episode of the podcast. So stay tuned for our next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.